Bitcoin breakout on the short-term charts, but a true bullish breakout still yet to be seen, everyone. We will discuss the immediate resistance that Bitcoin sees in the hours ahead in this video. What is up, everyone? Thank you so much for cruising by. Hit that subscribe, like, turn the notification bells on your way in. If you're new here to Crypto Capital Venture, welcome. This is a live stream. I haven't been doing these lately, and this will be a short one. So even if you're a replay viewer, I'm going to jump into the charts right now for you. I appreciate everybody coming by. This is Bitcoin. Let's just put this into context first. Let's get some perspective. So as of July 21st, yesterday, Bitcoin started moving. I saw some YouTube videos, right? I saw one in particular talking about a Bitcoin breakout, and then I got off YouTube. But it was like 1% to 2% move, right? I don't consider that really a breakout. Even on the short term, right now we're at like maybe 3% to 4% move. Let's call it a short-term breakout, but let's still not get too excited about it, everybody. But there are some things to raise an eyebrow now, and I want to talk about those things in this video. So let's jump in. For context, here's a video from the other day. You might have seen it. You may have not. July 19th. This was like 3 days ago. We'll set the roadmap for this video. 60% of this ascending triangle is the average. A 60% breakout is the average for a bullish breakout for Bitcoin. So it's not exact, right? This could be less, it could be more. These numbers could be less, could be more. But look at just where we are in terms of the average area of breakouts, right? And Bitcoin, I do not think is going to trade is not going to trade sideways for that much longer. Okay, so we're at least not trading sideways anymore, right? We were at 91.61. Now we're at 95.36. So what happened was earlier today, because Bitcoin was starting to move yesterday, we know, and we saw some, $9,300 area Bitcoin that we were kind of working with earlier today. So I just tweeted, I said, confirmation would be a bounce from here with 95.50 targets. This was like 6 or 7 hours ago. So wrapping all that together now, here we are. Look at this. Bitcoin, from when I tweeted that earlier, has hit its first resistance target, and we are there, 95.50. Well, actually, on this chart, we wicked up to around 95.68, but look at this. We're there at resistance. Now, that isn't the target breakout for this ascending triangle that I was talking about. The target breakout for that is up here, right around $9,900 or so. So we're still eyeing that up. But what we do know is if we zoom out on the charts a little bit, and this is really the immediate resistance that lies ahead. This is that upper trend line on the symmetrical triangle that we've been talking about on this channel for a while now. This goes all the way back to the beginning of May, right? So almost 3 months. And we're cruising along. We know we just passed 73% to the apex of this yellow symmetrical triangle. That is kind of that median range for breakouts in terms of symmetrical triangles. Could be less, could be more. Same thing with the 60% of this to the apex of this smaller ascending triangle. Could be less, could be more. But we see what it looks like a little bit past 60%, breaking out of that triangle. And so are we going to get something similar breaking out of this huge symmetrical triangle that we've been tracking, currently a little over 73% to the apex? Now, we have a couple different things that we're working with. We have a bullish target, $9,900 or so for this smaller ascending triangle. And we have a larger, and this is like the true bullish target, I would say, of over $11,000, which is the target of this symmetrical triangle. So we've really been talking about this type of story coming together for Bitcoin for weeks now, especially when it's just doing nothing, trading sideways. I mean, this is the picture-perfect scenario for it to play out this way. And so far, we are at the very early stages of it happening, right? The first stage would be Bitcoin, what it did yesterday, breaking this trend line yesterday. And what I wanted to talk about too, and just in regards to this ascending triangle that we've broken out of right here, this purple one, is not only did we break out, we revisited it. You can see on the 6-hour chart, Bitcoin just kind of cruised back down to this upper trend line, a show of support there. And you can specifically see it in just the way this wick formed on this 6-hour right here. That was a very short-term kind of bullish sign, right? And then we got continuation now up to this resistance area. So that 95.50 for me, and like right now we're there. We're $15, $14 away from that. That's a really, from my charts perspective, everybody's charting differently, but from my perspective, that's a really solid area of resistance that I'm watching for. And I think we can find some bullish confirmation if Bitcoin solidly breaks through that. Now, just as Bitcoin broke that trend line and revisited it for support, we would look for something similar. If Bitcoin makes a move, which I would love to see Bitcoin bullishly break through this trend line, 95.50 area, make a move, I don't know, see a little resistance, 9,700. Even if we reach 9,900 in a short-term bull run, Bitcoin revisiting this trend line all the way down here, 9,500 again, don't freak out. Right? That happens so often when Bitcoin breaks out of a pattern. So just something to prepare for in a world that we would all love to, be a part of for Bitcoin. It would never happen. Bitcoin would just blow through even the $9,900 target. But that is the target in terms of Bitcoin of this ascending triangle. Now, some things going on, confluent with all of these things is this. Bitcoin currently on the daily chart did something very important. Just want to take note of. It is really solid close above it, above the 50-day moving average, and this is the daily. Yeah, so blue line right here, 50-day moving average, very important line for Bitcoin. We want to see support above, and currently that line is right around 93.50 or so. So we're a couple $100 away from key support. If Bitcoin on the 6-hour chart does, happen to come back down a little bit, this is key support, this $9,300 to $9,400 area around that 200 moving or the 50 moving average on the daily. So that's another thing to keep an eye on. Now, if we cruise along here, we can start going to the weekly. And these are the charts that I like. This is what we're looking for. This is really, truly the confirmation we're looking for. How does this week end? I think that's really going to tell the story of how bullish we can feel at the end of the day, because we are here. I did a video the other day. It really didn't get a lot of views, but it's probably the most important video I could have done, talking about the macro, talking about these areas, the consolidation phases after these halvings. These white lines are the halvings, and these consolidation areas happened at every halving, right? This sideways trading for weeks. Bitcoin has been there before. What we really want to see on the weekly is pretty much what we've seen in the other halvings. We want to see higher highs, even if it's not even that much higher on the weekly. Slow, steady growth, higher highs on the weekly. And that's what we're looking for. Obviously, it starts on the micro, but it really displays itself on the macro. Could this weekly chart, and you see this candle on this weekly chart right now, could it be a higher high? That would be a very strong sign for Bitcoin bulls. Currently, 50-week moving average right around 8,500. We've talked about that area to the downside. Be prepared for it. Consolidation to the downside could happen. Will it? Time will tell, but in the immediate future, we want to see how this weekly candle closes, and it's all, yes, stemming to the micro charts. Can Bitcoin continue to hit its targets? Currently putting in the new 6-hour candle as I do this video, really testing this yellow long-term trend line, part of that symmetrical triangle. This could be a wild 12 hours if Bitcoin decides to break through. That's the move everybody's waiting for. But currently, in terms of gains, Bitcoin's only up like a little over 4% right now. That's not crazy in crypto land. It's a start, but let's not get overly excited. Let's not hype things up, but we know the areas we're watching for consolidation. The question is, will it happen? Here's the weekly chart. This is what we're looking at weekly. Macro look, Bitcoin is set up. It is ready, right? We've talked about this multiple times. From a momentum perspective, Bitcoin is ready. We are bouncing currently off of this 52 line, which has happened previously in previous swing lows, even after previous halvings. Here's 2016 halving. Bitcoin consolidates a little bit right after, bounces up to a new swing high. Bitcoin is right there with a lot of upward momentum on these momentum oscillators, this RSI namely, and that's something we're watching for. Everybody, these are my thoughts on Bitcoin. There is a move, but we have to break 95.50 and really get some separation from that area here on the 6-hour chart. Watch for resistance. Just as easy as Bitcoin could break through that resistance, it could easily see true resistance and come back down, testing $9,300 area, that upper trend line, and even once again the lower trend line of this symmetrical triangle, the yellow line here, 9,200. It could happen quick. Just please be prepared for it. We wait, we see, and confirmation one way or another, it will arrive if you can be patient. Everybody, if you're here right now, hit the like button. It means a lot. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. I'm trying to get this thing to 50,000 subscribers before Bitcoin hits 50,000. It's a race. It's a race to the finish. I appreciate all of you coming by this live stream. Have an awesome rest of your night. Let's see what Bitcoin does. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.